Brad, last time we were here, we were talking about incredible plans for a Rotax powered version using the 916, which is when the engine was announced at the Innovation Preview last year, the Carbon Cub UL. I understand the program's made some headway. Tell us all about it.
Sure. We were here last year as Rotax's launch partner on the 916. So we had a 916 on an airplane in the booth. That was an early development prototype. I flew it across the country. I was super impressed with the Rotax then, and yeah, we've made a lot of development progress since then. We are very close to final lock on our cooling design. We've taken more weight out of the airplane. The Block 1 demo airplanes that are coming out right now, 930 empty weight on the airplane, and we still have more to do. We still have more stuff like engine mounts that we can go to titanium with. We still have more wet layup composites in the airplane that we can go to pre-preg with. We think we'll get another 30 or 40 pounds out of the airplane by the time we're all said and done. But right now, that airplane, if a guy comes and he buys that airplane and goes through our Builder Assist program as an EAB, he'll get an 1865 gross weight and an empty weight under 930, which gives the airplane more useful load than the empty weight. 930, 935 is the one we're flying out at Camp Cubcrafters this week.
So what's the future now in regards to production and availability?
So we are putting demo airplanes out in the field. The one that's at Camp Cubcrafters at South Lakeland, that's number 2. Number 1's at Aero Friedrichshafen. We've got another 3 or 4 coming off the line between now and Oshkosh. I think of the first 24 airplanes we're building in 2025, probably 2/3 or 3/4 of them are Carbon Cub ULs, people that have already signed up, those early adopters. And just this week, we've sold 6 or 8 airplanes on the way out here and here at the show. We're off to a great start with the UL. I'm really excited to see what it does in Europe next week. The X-Cub has had EASA type certification for 4 or 5 years now, and we've just sold a handful of airplanes over there. So that category of airplanes, it hasn't done well for us. It hasn't done well for any of the OEMs in Europe because of that heavy certification and regulation burden, where people are really selling airplanes and having fun, and where the consumer's heart is in Europe is in the ultralight category and the LSA category. And the Carbon Cub UL fits into both of those categories very well. But beating those strict weight limits, it's been a real challenge for us, but we're there.
How much?
Base price on the airplane is $289,000 US dollars. Most of them will go out the door for the low to mid 300s. Customers like to upgrade propellers and avionics and, titanium landing gear and all that fun stuff. So I would say low to mid 300s is pretty reasonable.
Okay. And how many do you plan to produce each year?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 or 3 years down the road, a quarter of the airplanes we're producing are Rotax powered. I'm very impressed with the power plant, with the technology, and I think that the consumers that we've traditionally sold to that are used to legacy type aircraft engines like Homings and Continentals, I think that they'll like this. Part of that really depends on if all of the alphabet groups in the FAA can get together and figure out this fuel situation. The Lycoming owner, the Continental owner, those guys are kind of waiting to see what happens, and a few of those people are sitting on the sidelines in terms of buying an airplane. It's one of the big advantages Rotax has, is this engine here will burn avgas, it'll burn MoGas, it'll burn pump gas as it sits right now. So in the consumer's mind, they've got an advantage there right now because there's not that uncertainty that the regulators are putting into the market in terms of fuel availability 5 or 10 years down the road.
Backcountry flying to us is our playground. For us, it's how we access the things we like to do. It's just our lifestyle. We exclusively use the Hartzell Voyager prop, and it's proved to be just a great combination for what we do. What it's doing, it's helping us all have better performing airplanes. Man, it feels a lot better clearing trees by 50 feet versus 20 feet. I don't ever see myself not flying.